Hey YouTube, TyranitarNom back with another battle. It's another black and white battle, and again I apologize for the bad quality, but it's gonna be a little reoccurring with this webcam type view. It's not too bad, but it's not quite flashcard quality. I'll have that soon once I figure out how to get to work. And so this is a pretty new black and white team. I've got some new mates. Like I lead off with my I saw this guy had a sort of a sandstorm type team. He had some ground and rock types, and I saw he had Tyranitar, so you get to see the opponent's team at the beginning. And so I saw the fact that he had a Tyranitar, and I have Terrakion, who's my Terracotta, and I thought I would pick him to be my lead, because you get to pick the order your Pokemon come out after you get to see their Pokemon. So that's what I did. And I go for the Sacred Sword, and he switches into Landloss, at least that's the English name. And I use Sacred Sword, and it's the stab. It's basically his fighting type move. It's weaker than close combat, but it doesn't do any drops or anything, so I use that. And he gets the crit. And then so in comes Jelly. And this is like one of the first times I'd faced one of these things. So I go for the Stone Edge just to see how much that would do. And it doesn't do enough, and thank God his Focus Blast missed. And then right here, that was a misplay on my part. I go into Darkrai. Obviously, Focus Blast is super effective on Darkrai too. So if he had gone for another Focus Blast, it would have just been him annihilating my Darkrai. And the reason I'm using Darkrai is because this is a point in metagame where you can basically use whatever you want because the tiers on Smogon aren't set yet, and so I'm just sandboxing with some mods I wouldn't get to normally use because I stick to the lower tiers like UU, OU, UU, basically, sometimes NU, and you're not allowed to use some cool mods like Darkrai, and I figured I'd give him some try during the sandboxing period, and so I put his Tyranitar to sleep, and in comes Slug. I have no idea why the hell he has this thing. But basically, I put something to sleep, and I get the nasty plots, generally what Darkrai's do. And he brings in his Slug. It's resistant. I heard it gets like Storm Drain or something. I'm not sure what that does. And I Dark Pulse it, and it's obviously special defensive bulky, because it even a nasty plotted stab Dark Pulse doesn't kill this thing. That surprised me a little bit. And it's got lefties, so it's healing. He yawns me, trying to get me to switch to phase me and get rid of those boosts, but I have a Lumberry instead of Leftovers or Focus Sash or whatever else you might have on a Darkrai set. Simply because if I go against another Darkrai or something with Magic Coat that puts me to sleep, I can just wake back up with my Lumberry and continue my trashing. And so I use the Lumberry and I wake up, and now I'm at +2 boost, and he goes into a Jirachi. Here I go for the Focus Blast, forgetting that's neutral. Well, his Jirachi's Scarf, so it's faster. It's a special attacking Jirachi, which, I mean, it's not that common. Normally, and he gets the Parahax the first turn. I get paralyzed by T-Bolt, Serene Grace, I guess, but then I suffer from the paralysis, and then he goes for another T-Bolt, and I die. There goes Darkrai. He doesn't get to do too much this battle. He's torn some teams apart in the past, and probably in the future. I probably won't use him throughout in all my teams. I've been testing out a Sandstorm team. But then I go into Dennis, my Genesect, and I know he hasn't been released yet. But again, this is sandboxing. I'm using Ubers now because I'm not potential Ubers now because they're going to be Uber in the future. I'm not going to get to use them then, so I might as well use them now before it's definitive and kids don't DC. Now that everyone's getting back into Garchomp and Salamence, I might as well use this pretty cool Caesar 2.0. And so I go for the Fire Blast, and I think I'm choice Spect. I think this is, I had a choice Scarf, which I probably should have kept, but right now he's choice Spect, so I go for the Fire Blast, and the Flamethrower, and in Sandstorm, it barely hurts him. So I switch back out into Terrakion, and here's where I figure out that it's a sleep-talking Tyranitar, and I'm just like, fudge me a lot, because that is nasty. But then I realize that it's got, it doesn't have it has Stone Edge, and it goes for Stone Edge. So it might be like a Crocune in the fact that it only has one attack. I don't remember seeing any other attacks. So if it just has a Stone Edge, then he'll have I'll have no problem taking those with Terrakion and getting some good Sword Stances. So I get a Sword Stance off, and it goes back into Jelly. And I didn't have a Sword Stance last time, and this guy's got Regeneration, so he basically shrugs off the Stone Edge that I gave him earlier because he switches out, and what Regeneration does is it heals a third of the max HP every time he switches out. So yeah, so that basically sucked. And so I get a Stone Edge off, and then he Focus Blasts me. But what's nice is the fact that that's not Stab. Even though he's got a high special attack, that's not Stab, and there's Sandstorm up. And I'm a Rock type, so that ups my special defense, which is clearly why I did not die here from a Rankarusu has a really good special attack, and Focus Blast super effective, and it's got a really high base, so that would have killed every single time. It would have killed a full health Terrakion. But since there's Sandstorm up, that played to my benefit, so I was able to survive that with a significant amount of health left. And he goes back into his Jirachi, which I know is a special attacker, and I'm predicting like a Psychic or something. And so I go into Dennis, who's, since he's Bug, Steel will take a Psychic or a Zen Headbutt, and it will be 4 times not very effective. Then he goes for the Energy Ball, which was basically, I mean, that's what I was going for. I don't know if that's 2 or 4 times not very effective, but it's pretty nice. Then I know he's going to switch out, and I think I go for the Bug Buzz here, thinking he's going to go back into his Tyranitar, because that's what he did last time when I Flamethrowed, and I predict that, and I go for the Bug Buzz, and Tyranitar doesn't stand a chance, and he won't get to Sleep Talk anymore, because he is, oh, no, he's still alive. He survives barely by the skin of his teeth, but I'll get another Bug Buzz off, and that should kill him. Yep. So I get the second Bug Buzz off, and down goes the misspelled name Tyranitar. I don't know why someone would misspell a name like that on purpose. But then he goes into Chomp as Garchomp, and this thing scared me. I have Ice Beam on my Genosect, but I'm Scarfed. So I go for the Bug Buzz because I know he was going to try and Sword Stance. I was hoping really bad that this guy had nothing that could touch me, and then I completely forgot that half of Garchomps carry Fire Fang. And so I go down in a Blaze of Glory, as the one move that's super effective to Genosect happens with this Garchomp, who now has a 2x boost. And this could have very well ended the battle for me if I did not play this well for the next couple of turns. So I go into Edifune, who has got Mischievous Heart, so he's going to be faster. And I go for the Leech Seed. All the other moves I don't have a single move that'll do damage to this Garchomp. I have Encore, which would have done nothing, because half the rest of my team, I think the next couple of mons I have left, I have a Poison Heal Gliscor left. I think that's all I have left. But whatever I have left needed some help, because this thing has a 2x boost, it has a Sword Stance boost, and when Garchomp gets a Sword Stance boost, it's pretty hard. That's why it's in Ubers to take down. And so he switches out when I go into my Gliscor, and he goes into Jirachi. Maybe predicting that I would go for the Toxic, but I went for the Protect so that I could get some seeds. Or not seeds, so I could get... No, he was probably trying to get rid of his seeds by switching Jirachi there. That's probably why he did that. And so I have Terrakion left. So I go into Terrakion, and it uses Trick, and that didn't bother me any. That's kind of nice, the fact that it gave me a Choice Scarf. I'm very glad I switched here, because if my Gliscor had been stuck with a Choice Scarf, that would have been very detrimental to me, because the moves I have are based for stalling, and the only attack he has is Earthquake, and that would have done jack to the Garchomp. And it hits Jirachi for super effective, so it would have killed that, but the Garchomp would have had some trouble. So I get a Choice Scarf, and now I'm faster than his Jirachi. And so I go for the Sacred Sword. I probably could have gone for the Earthquake, because the Earthquake would have been super effective. So that Jirachi probably would have been dead, and I probably would have been able to move again, which would have been a better case scenario, but I completely forgot that it has a dual Psychic typing. That eclipsed my mind at the time of the battle, but I'm I know that now. And so, oh yeah, I have another Mon left. I have Desukan. Hand jobs, my Desukan. I mean, he's got 4 hands. I wonder what they're for. Probably not drinking 4 cups of tea at the same time. And so I take that pretty well because he's got special defense EVs. He's naturally defensive. He's like Gliscor, only ghost version. And so I just pumped all his EVs into special defense. And so I burn him. I was hoping he was going to go into Garchomp, so I could get a burn on the Garchomp, and its attack would just be crap. And what its moves are, I have a Lumberry on it now, but I'm gonna get rid of the Lumberry and give it a Chesto, just so that it doesn't heal anything else that gets hit. But it's a Chesto. It's gonna be a Chesto rest. Right now it's a Lum rest, so I get a free full HP, and I predicted the attack to bring me down into a good enough damage because the burn will just take care of this Jirachi anyways. So I have a full health Desukan, and I think a full health Poison Heal Gliscor left, and all he's got is his Garchomp. Desukan is incredibly defensively bulky. I think it's got like a 110 base or something really high. And I knew he was going to go for the Swords Dance on the first hit, so I decided to burn him. And since a burn halves the attack, his attack is essentially back where it started from after that Swords Dance. So that's pointless on his part. He probably could have gotten some damage off, maybe. But he's dwindling now, and so he goes for the Outrage. I know I'm going to survive this. If not, I have Gliscor left, who I can just basically protect the whole time. And so now Desukan's ability kicks in after he hits me with Outrage, and his ability becomes Mummy. So that makes my Evil Eye hit stronger, and I win. So yeah, that's pretty good. I'm like 7-2 in Black and White and enjoying it. Comment, rate, subscribe. See ya.